Hi, I'm Shaggy Filalitea, and I am still talking about Chiefs fatigue. Because Chiefs fatigue is about something that our society is just really not ready to talk about. It's about something that I need to talk about and that is really important to me, but that our civilization, that the West is just not prepared to hear. For more than 20 years, young people my age and younger, have been told that the NFL is about parity. And then they tune in on Sundays, or they tune in infrequently they tune in infrequently, or they check in with their friends, or they look on Twitter and they see who's actually good, and it's one team, or maybe two teams, every year. And so Chiefs fatigue is exactly what my ex-girlfriend experienced when she picked her teams at random. She picked her teams for color scheme and for city. And in one case, she picked for the personality of the quarterback. And she did that because that's what the legacy media members were telling her to do. And the legacy media members were telling her to do that because the legacy media members were taught by people who taught them to think about the game in that way. Because the media and the commissioner's office have been in cahoots for decades. Acting like Roger Goodell is the first NFL commissioner, or the first sports commissioner to have a relationship with the national media is silly. They're on TV. They've been on TV as long as TV's been a thing. In fact, a big part of the why TV is the thing that you think of TV being is because your great-granddad or your granddad needed a TV in the house to watch the games that he would otherwise have been listening to on the radio. So you got to benefit from a technology that was in the house for sports. And so what I'm telling you is, as a fan of history and as a philosopher and as Filalitea, sports are extremely interesting and important to the cultural milieu. And so what that means is that for every conversation we have to take it back as far as we can take it back, and we have to remember everything that the conversation branches off to in those cloud graphs that you can make, and that the conversation gets very complex very quickly. And that's what philosophy, or what you were taught to think of as higher thought, that's what that's for, is for situations that are as complex as betting on the Super Bowl, or even knowing how to frame your emotions for the game, how to cope with things that are entirely outside your control, but still going to happen. And then because of the nature and the size of the event, people are going to be talking about for another calendar year. If we're talking about things like Mahomes getting the benefit of the doubt as he's running up the sideline, we have to remember that he remembers when Cam Newton was absolutely not getting the benefit of the doubt for pretending to still be a passer while he was behind the line of scrimmage. If defenders have not been coached to adapt to the rule that if he's obviously a runner, even though he's behind the line of scrimmage, you are allowed to blow him up, even if he's on the sideline, that's not Mahomes' fault. That's your defensive coordinator's fault. But you can only be mad at your team you randomly chose for